I'm Nat.
I'm Jenny.
And we're back, baby. Did you miss us?
Say you missed us.
Please.
Please.
We need it.
We need validation.
It's been a couple of months, but we're kicking off again with a movie that Look, we won't spoil it for you. Shall we just get straight into it?
Yeah, let's cut to it.
Somewhere out there is my family. I can't find them on my own.
Hang on, Dory!
Surf's up, dude!
Dad? Does this mean we have to say goodbye to Dory?
I don't know why I thought I could do this.
Dory, you are about to find your parents. And when you do that, you'll be
Home.
As our first review back, we are going to take a look at some of the early Oscar contenders, particularly the summer blockbusters, like highly anticipated sequel to Pixar's classic Finding Nemo, Finding Dory. Finding Dory is the sequel I didn't ask for. I don't know who really wanted it, but it exists. It pretty much picks up like a year after the last one left off. Everyone's really happy swimming around in the Great Barrier Reef. That doesn't look like the Great Barrier Reef currently looks like.
Let's not get into politics, Nat. This is a movie show.
Dory is suddenly triggered. Yep, triggered.
She is.
By the memory of her parents. She was separated from them, and she has a sudden, very strong urge to go find them, and she doesn't forget about it. They end up taking the current to California, and very quickly.
Yeah, it's a fast current.
They get there really quickly.
It's the fastest current.
So they go travelling all the way across the Pacific Ocean to end up in this marine centre where Dory goes to basically through a bit of a jailbreak story to find the tank her parents are living in. So, given that one of the last videos we uploaded was it hurt my childhood a little bit, but a rant that you did about your feelings towards Pixar, if we remember.
My opinions are valid, alright? Like, I'm a human being. I have opinions. Maybe to you, maybe those opinions are wrong, but they're valid, you know? Even Donald Trump is valid. I'll take that back.
So, we thought it would be interesting to go head-to-head on this one. But how did you feel about Finding Dory?
Well, to be honest, I found it sort of boring. Like, I quite like...
Finding Snorey.
I quite liked Finding Nemo. I don't think I hold it in as nostalgic a place as maybe I would Toy Story or as an adult Ratatouille. I'm not against the movie, so having a sequel was not like offensive to me. But I really feel like they kind of cocked this one up, excuse my French, because like there were moments where I was like, oh, like we have to sit through a whole 2 hours of this, or oh, I thought this movie was ending and it's not ending anytime soon. And I think the best way to describe it, which I think I said to you after we saw it, was that Finding Nemo had all these beautiful characters in the world. Like, I didn't care for Marlin, I didn't care for Dory, or Nemo was okay, but it was like the characters in the tank, and it was the characters that Marlin and Dory met along the way. Those were the things that I loved about Finding Nemo. Like the seagulls, the crabs, the sharks, the world. Finding Dory's missing that. Like, there's a few extra characters that are pretty good value, but beyond like those, like, it's pretty empty.
In Finding Nemo, the journey is happening through the ocean. You know, like, I mean, even though it is just, I mean, it's still a long way, but it's Queensland to Sydney. Noosa to Sydney or whatever. The journey feels really long, and it's got this great Odyssey sort of sense about it. And this setting is such a strange choice. It's like a SeaWorld sort of setting.
And it's so, like, funny because when the SeaWorld setting first appeared, my brain, who was still a little bit like, I'm liking this might be boring. My brain was like, is this a blackfish? Like, are they going to make some sort of
statement about
captive animals? But then it wasn't that at all.
Because I suppose that the SeaWorld was more of a stand-in for a hospital,
Yeah.
you know, like a place for people with
Injured animals.
disabilities, with people that couldn't, well, you know, for animals, like for fish, for fish that can't make their way on their own. And so it becomes this like sort of prison for Dory in the sense that she has to overcome her own disability. And so she's surrounded by other animals who have been overcome by their disabilities.
Yeah.
And they all have to overcome their disabilities.
Yeah, yeah.
Dory's obviously being her terrible memory.
Forgetfulness.
And so, I mean, there's something really sweet it has to say, I suppose, in like believing in yourself and being able to overcome and you know, challenging people's expectations of you, when especially people with disabilities.
Well,
so
they definitely do. Pixar will always have a message to ham home.
yes.
I suppose if they went for the Blackfish SeaWorld route, they would have shot themselves in the foot because aquariums all around the world are selling their merchandise to children.
Yeah.
So.
This movie is like at pains to remind you that the animals are going to be released.
Yeah.
Like pains. They're like, as
a
soon
good
as they're
point.
better, we
Yeah.
let them go.
Yeah.
And most of them don't want to be let go.
That's a really good point, actually.
They really have it at
They
home.
really don't want you to get confused.
Yeah.
Aquariums are good, guys.
I think that part of the story is important and interesting, but it still doesn't like convince me of the fact that Dory really is growing or learning anything as a character.
Yeah.
To me, she's so forgetful
Yeah.
in the first movie, and that's she's comic relief. That's her quirk. And you know, when she actually does sort of remember towards the end, it builds into this great moment of pathos because the whole time she's just been funny and had no,
Yeah.
you know, and then
a
you and
joke.
she's a joke, and then you realize that she actually has feelings, whereas this movie is just too full of feelings. There's too many feelings. I remember in your rant you were talking about the string pulling and the emotional manipulation, and it used to be done with a more deft hand, I thought. This was so ham-fisted. It was like they would go to flashbacks of baby Dory when she was like back living in the tank with her parents, and the baby Dory is like this tiny little fish with giant eyes and a baby voice, and it's so cute the first couple of times, but by about the 10th time you're like, do we really need to see this again? Like, I get it, it was cute, I'm sad, the baby got lost, I've done my tears for this though. Like, okay, we don't need to keep doing this. So, and there were too many moments of like, you know, Marlon and Dory being all crying together and different characters being like,
Yeah. Don't you know what that feels like?
it's just,
Yes, I do know that. I feel really
too much drama.
validated. I'm gonna break my neck from like nodding so like happily.
I know, and I was the one who I thought I was going to come out of this really defending Pixar, but I really think they've lost their touch here. It's so the subtle. It lacks the subtlety of their earlier
Like
stuff,
the first Toy Stories.
and the first Finding Nemo.
That's true. And I feel like, I mean, like, that's exactly my point. My point against Pixar, just to go back to my rant, is just that, like, they could be doing better. Like, they have the ability to do better, but they're just getting lazy with it. Like, they're just not trying anymore because everyone's just like...
And when you make a kids movie, it's very easy to become complacent.
Yeah.
As a lot of like early DreamWorks would suggest as well.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. DreamWorks and Pixar have flipped. Pixar has gotten complacent and sort of gone downhill in quality, whereas DreamWorks, I guess probably because nobody goes, like, Pixar has a cult behind it, but nobody goes like, DreamWorks, like, every time we're gonna see the DreamWorks movie.
Well, yeah, not until recently, I guess.
So the competitive nature of those two companies has made DreamWorks just go like, all right, let's ratchet it up, like, let's get better at what we're doing.
I enjoyed Finding Dory enough, but I was disappointed. And I also think, let's talk Oscar terms. It'll definitely get a nomination because
Pixar.
animation, unfortunately, is a pretty slim category.
Yeah.
But I don't see it winning.
Yeah, actually, I agree with you there. Especially,
Not at all.
I mean, it's a strong year for DreamWorks, I think, and
Disney Animation
Disney.
Studios.
Yeah.
They have been dominating for the past.
And Moana comes out this year, right?
Oh, does it?
As well as Trolls.
And Zootopia has
Yeah.
already been out.
So it's a strong year for good quality animation. Not that I can tell you what Moana or Trolls is like, but it's a good year for new franchises as
Yeah,
well.
there's a whole lot of movies coming out this year that will be
look pretty
Oscar
strong.
contenders,
So
I think.
do they want to reward a sequel that's not as amazing? Don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Were we totally wrong about Finding Dory, though? Did we pierce your childhood? Leave us a comment below. Like and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook. And yeah, we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the Hank spy movie. I'm ready for it.
Yes. We'll have to see. And it would be good to get around to reviewing maybe at least Zootopia, which has been out.
Yes.
But a few of the other really big animation contenders as they come through.
Yes, because animation is the one where it comes all year round, not just in November.
Yes.